Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. So today it's raining outside, so that's pretty much squashed any outdoor projects. So we're going to do a little inside work today. I have another carburetor to work on for another Corvette. We'll take you along. This is the carburetor for my father's 1965 Corvette. It's very similar to the one I did in the previous video for my mother's Corvette, except it's a little different. This is a list number 2818-1, which is for a 64 or 65 Corvette, 327, 365 horse. I bought a carburetor kit for this one from a Corvette place. Yeah, 64, 65, 350, 365 horse Holley kit. The kit from Holley was over $100. This was like $50 from a Corvette place. This should just have what we need in here for this carb and not a bunch of extra stuff, let's hope. So this is pretty much the same as the other one. The choke's a little different. There may be some other differences, but pretty much the same thing. And since I bored you with that entire video, I'll just show you the highlights on this one. But the nice thing about this one is the car is fairly close. So once this one's together, we'll be able to put it back on the car and test it. This car was running with no fuel pouring out of it, but it wasn't running on all the cylinders. Actually felt like about half of them, so I'm thinking we're going to find some problems and just some general dirt and junk in here. And this thing probably has been 6-8 years since it's been apart. And there's a little bit of junk in there. Kind of smells like old gas too. It does have the blue gaskets, which are apparently the ethanol resistant ones, which seem to perform a lot better. That one actually came apart. So we'll dig into some more of this. So far, this one's in a lot better shape than the other one. Could likely reuse these gaskets. Probably won't, but I may save them just in case. I'll have to scrape a little off and then clean it up. Let's see what's in the secondary portion. And a little junky, not horrible. This one's a little different than the last one we did because this one actually has secondary jets. The other car just had a metering plate, so that's what makes this one different, I guess. I would have actually thought this would have had a metering plate also, but apparently not. Those jets are clean. They're considerably larger. Well, maybe not. Don't want to get them mixed up. Just like the other one, this secondary doesn't want to come off. And again, much better. So I was cleaning up the primary metering plate and happened to notice there was a bunch of junk down inside this orifice right here. As near as I can tell, that should match that side. So that's possible. That's possible that was our problem. I don't think I got it in there from something else, but I'll spray that out and clean that out, blow that out real well, put it back together. As I'm doing that, I'm going to change the power valve, and I noticed this one is stamped 45 or maybe 4.5 on the side, one that's came out of it. The one that is going into it that came out of the kit has a part number on it, which doesn't really tell me anything, but it looks up to here, looks like it was stamped up on the edge, so that's either a 65 or a 6.5. So I guess that's the amount of manifold vacuum or amount of vacuum to where it opens. So I'm not sure which one's correct, but we're gonna go ahead and put the new one in it. This is mostly back together. There's a new secondary diaphragm in the kit. It looks like the edges are kind of frayed. I'm not sure if this was replaced the last time this was rebuilt. The rod doesn't look like it has. So I'm going to go ahead and change that also while we're here. Looks like there's a clip and a couple screws should pull it off there. See if I can poke myself. Well, that was easy. Okay. Of course, there's another screw behind the choke, so that choke housing is going to have to come off too. See how much this turns into. That should be enough. Four screws here, they're Phillips. So that looks a little better. All right, we'll put that back on and we should be about done. So I was putting this back together. I noticed I couldn't adjust the accelerator pump clearance on here. It should be 15 thousandths, or just a little bit of a gap between that cam and the accelerator pump linkage. So as you press on the accelerator, that's what operates the accelerator pump. It gives you that squirt down the throat so it doesn't stumble and it transitions from idle to main jets. And that seems like it's already mostly into the stroke and we're losing a portion of that pump shot. All the other arms I've seen look like this, where you can actually have a gap and you get the full stroke, and then when you hit full throttle it'll compress that spring so you don't damage the pump. Well, this one looks like it's all the way in there already, and that spring is pretty much coil bound. I can't turn it back anymore. So obviously I got a new one. So I don't know if this arm came off something else or what the deal is here, but we're gonna go ahead and pull it off and stick to see if this new one will fit. I don't think it's gonna come out of there until I take this off. There's no way to sneak this arm on there without taking something apart. I'm going to go ahead and pull this spring off here. I don't think that thing's going until I take that accelerator pump diaphragm off there. Okay, let's get this on there now. Put that arm on, get the clip on there. I guess I'm going to be doing this a lot. I should find a set of clutch head screwdrivers.
So the way I understand it, with your accelerator pump arm fully depressed on the accelerator pump, you want to push down on the lever, and you want your 15 thousandths gap to be right there. That way the spring isn't jammed down like it was before. Will it make any difference? Likely not. Still gonna run the same stroke, but that's the way I've read in a couple articles that needs to be set up. So the gap does not need to be, there needs to be no gap at idle. So as soon as your throttle opens at idle, that should start pushing the accelerator pump arm. So here we are, we got the carburetor reinstalled, and we're going to go for a startup. And then I'll probably, once it warms up a little bit, try to adjust the floats. I don't know if you're gonna be able to hear anything. Battery dead? Four volts.
Now you have to turn the switch here. I forgot
Oh.
to turn the switch.
Now we're reading 12 volts. Ah, shit. I'm leaking fuel. Damn it.
if the clock actually works.
Step your neck back. Jesus.